What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Jrichfits Lifestyle and Health Coaching Corner. This is episode 9, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Today's topic is knowing when to quit and knowing when to stay at your job. This is a personal one to me. Why? Because I just quit a job that I really enjoy doing, and a lot of people have been asking me about it, and a lot of people want to know the story behind it. And I'll kind of touch on certain points that I don't want to get too specific because I don't like to put companies out there or anything like that. But I did just quit a week ago of a job that I've been working for about a year. And most people would think, oh, well, a year is not that bad. But it was more of a, I don't like to use the word passion project, but kind of like that, where I was working for this one company for about 6 years, and I was running a program for them there. And then an opportunity came up where I could run a new program, but the whole company was based on the specific thing, which was boxing. So it was a cool idea, a cool time to build something from the ground up and be a part of it from day one and kind of just go from there. But as time went on and as I started figuring out that when it came to programming and when it came to developing, I really wasn't going to be a big part of that, or there wasn't really a big role for it to begin with, and that's what my skill is. And I always tell people, make sure you emphasize what you're good at, not what you're good, what you're not good at. And once I started noticing that and just paying attention to some fundamental differences, I just decided enough was enough, and time is money, and you can't waste either of them. So I had to quit. With that little backstory, I'll get more into details and everything about my personal one, but I want to kind of just help you guys out if you're thinking about quitting or if you're thinking about staying at a job, because this is going to tackle both. It's going to tackle the quitting aspect, but it's also going to tackle points where you probably should stay. But the fun part is always quitting. That's always the best part. So we're going to figure that part out. First question. When is a good time to go? In my honest opinion, the best time to go is the second you feel like it. Like the second that you're like, I probably should get the fuck out of here. That's probably the best time to get the fuck out of there. But let's say, in my opinion, if you have fundamental differences, if what you believe in is not the same and what you think the company stands for, or not the same of what you think the higher ups in the company stand for, gotta get out of there. Because fundamental differences are key. People rarely change their strong opinion. So if you have a strong opinion or they have a strong opinion about something, the likelihood of you changing their mind or them changing your mind is going to be very slim. And if they do, you'll have some resentment behind it. You'll still be pissed and you'll still kind of want to sabotage the company somehow or something like that. And that's never a good idea to have, or that's never good for them to have it towards you, where they wouldn't want to see you grow. And if they don't want to see you grow and you want to sabotage the place, it's just not a good combination. So that, for yourself and for the company, if you really do respect the people that are there, would be a good reason to get out of there. So it's like, that's a good reason. Fundamental differences, not liking the people you're working with. And it's funny because that could be two different things. You can actually personally not like them at all and want to punch them in the face every time you see them. That would probably be a good time to quit. Or you could like the person as a person and hate them as a boss, a coworker, somebody that works under you. And that could be an amazing reason to leave as well, where if you feel like you like this person as a person and them in a working environment are jeopardizing how you feel about them as a person or individual, and you want to save that relationship, good time probably to get out of there or change positions or just not work with them directly or figure something out, because that's the worst. I was in that situation as well, where I was working with this individual, and as a person, love him to death. Great guy. Done a lot of things for me they didn't have to do. And I remember those things. When people do things for you that they didn't have to in the past, or they reach out when they didn't have to. I don't forget things like that, and I always appreciate them. And that's what this guy did a whole bunch of times. And fuck the monetary stuff. It was more of the gesture. I can give a fuck about money. I can give a fuck about material things and what you're giving me or anything like that. It's more the gesture and did you have to do it. Those things what mean way more to me than anything else. So that left a big imprint for me and my thought process and relationship towards him. So when we started working together and I felt like that was getting jeopardized, I was like, oh, gotta remove myself, gotta get out of here, because I know deep down inside, great person, just not the best to work with. So I was like, oh, got to go. So I would say those are two big reasons or big red flags that you see where you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. This isn't the job for me, or I gotta change positions or change something. So that would be a good one. Should you always stand by what you say? This hits me personally because I live by what I say all day, every day. If you can't tell by this podcast, I don't pitter patter for anybody. I say exactly what it is. And that's it, because I don't feel like if I said something soft for you that you'd like it more, or if I said, and you're never going to please everybody. So the best way you could possibly be is yourself. So I think that I've seen a lot of people tell me that they're going to stand by what they say and stand by what they believe in. And then when the opportunity arose, is that even word? Arisen or whatever the fuck, they didn't step up to the plate. And there were two guys in particular that the job before this I can think of, and they were both in higher positions, and they thought one day that this company's got to sell and they're gonna make all this money and we're gonna do it, and they would sell you all the bullshit all day, every day. And I'd watch them trick these kids into working long hours and not giving them raises and screwing them over. And the whole time they're sitting there with a smile on their face telling us, read this book and do this and do that. And at the end of it, they were a package deal. And they were saying how they're such good friends and they're this and they're that. And one of them got fired. And it was the other one's opportunity to live what he says. He said, if my friend ever left, I would leave the day of. No questions asked, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? He didn't leave. His boy got fired. There's a lot of backstory to it. I don't know what the fuck backstory is, but I don't give a shit about your backstory. I give a fuck about what you say in the moment. If me and my best friend or me and my boy are working together and I said I would quit if they got fired or they quit, I would leave. They didn't leave. Stayed around, gargled a whole bunch of ball sack and licked a whole bunch of butthole just to hopefully one day get the position that I want, the job that I want. And if they sell, we get acquired, I get paid out. And you're wishing on somebody else's star. Don't ever wish on somebody else's star. Create your own star, wish on that shit. Then at the end of it, he got fired. He had another boy that said the same exact thing. If you quit, I'm out. If you get fired, I'm out. Guess what? He got fired. His boy stayed, took his job. So it's like, at the end of the day, stand for and say what you mean and stand for what you believe in, and you'll be fine. But if you don't, at the end of the day, you got to sleep and you got to wake up and you got with yourself and you got to remember that you said these things and you didn't do them. So and people will remember it and never take you serious again. So for me, in the situation I was in, I told myself, these are the things I stand for. If any of these things are breached or if any of these things are pushed, then I'm going to quit. And there were a couple of them that I stood for. And one big one was paying trainers fairly, especially young trainers, because I was a young trainer back in the day that was paid unfairly. Where my first job, I was getting $10 a class. And I was working all these hours, and they were trying to tell me that it was great money. And I was some young kid out of college that didn't know any better. I just wanted to train and box and do all that stuff. So being that when it was my opportunity and I found out that we were going to start lowballing and kind of taking advantage of young trainers, I had to get out. I had to quit. And I felt great because I knew that the moment was there and I could have stayed or left. And I decided to leave because I believe in what I say and I believe in my fundamental values. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Yeah. The next question is, should you leave when your morals are being tested? For sure. I mean, and this can dive into like different stuff. This can dive into work conduct. If somebody's verbally trying to abuse you, or if somebody's physically trying to abuse you, perfect time to leave. I mean, fuck, you can own your own company after that one. Whatever company you work for, if you want to own one, yeah, have somebody try to grab your ass, or try to have somebody try to grab you in the front, and you can own that company in a second. So, if anything, I would promote that. Hey, let somebody talk crazy shit to you. Make sure you're videoing it. Let somebody grab you. Make sure you're videoing that, because at the end of the day, if they're stupid enough to do something as disrespectful as that, you should be smart enough to take advantage of them. And people like that deserve to be taken advantage of. So don't ever feel bad for them. Don't ever feel bad for their family. Don't ever feel bad for the company or anything like that. You don't owe them anything. If you died tomorrow, they would write a sorry card and send it to your family, and that's about it. But companies and businesses and stuff like that, they don't care about you as much as your actual family does. So if somebody's stepping over the boundaries, feel free to speak up today and get what you deserve today. And don't ever let somebody take advantage of you. And don't ever let somebody test your morals and your boundaries. There's a lot of companies that do that. They'll have you sweep something under the rug or look left when they're doing something on the right. And that's like a sheep mentality. Don't allow somebody to do that to you just because they're waving $1 in front of your face. There's money out there. You could always quit, start your own thing. You'll struggle for a little bit, but it'll work as long as you have like the passion behind it. Don't allow companies to take advantage of you. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there with ball breath and butthole breath, because all they do is either get on their knees or walk to the back end. And those people, when they have enough ball fucking sweat in their mouth and it's fucking butt crust on their lips, the only thing they want to do is get that taste out of their mouth and put it in your mouth. So pay attention to who's above you and how they act, because they had to do a lot of weird, nasty things to get to where they are, and they're going to want you to do the same thing. But it takes a strong person to stand up to them and tell them, hey, fuck that. I'm going to fuck you up before you think you're going to get close to me with anything, motherfucker. So I would just say, stick up for yourself. Don't let anybody ever push your morals. And if they are, speak up. How should you quit? Oh, man, that's a good one. There's a bunch of ways you could quit. I would say cross your T's first and dot your I's. That means make sure there's nothing that they can hold against you. Make sure that you have all your PTO sewed up because you earned all that. Make sure your health hours are all up because you deserve all that. You earned all that. Make sure you read your contract and see where they're messing up or where they can possibly get you. So cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure you're on top of all that type of stuff. That'd be first. Be as professional as you can. Not so much for the company, because you ain't working for them no more, but for yourself. It's good to test those. It's so easy to snap and yell at people and do all that stuff and look foolish. And when people see that, they don't ever see the first hit. The first hit would be what the company's doing to you, but they don't know what that is. People only see the second hit, and that's you acting crazy and doing all that stuff. So it just gives them more of a reason to get rid of you, or more reason that you should quit. So don't give them that type of fuel to begin with. I'm not saying don't do it at all. I'm saying as much as you can, be professional. Leave shaking a hand, looking somebody in the eye. That's always been big. My dad taught me that, where it's like, if you're quitting, Don't do it through email. Don't do it through text. Meet somebody. Look them in the eye. Explain to them what's going on, because it's twofold. It'll be good for you, but it's great for them, because I think people need to hear that. Everybody hides behind text message. Everybody hides behind email so much, and they become cowardly and tough and rough through that. But when we see them face to face, they get real quiet and they really want to hear what you guys say. And maybe you could say something to help them for the next person. Or maybe you can say something just to help them, period, in their own life. But I think that coming with a professional exit and giving them reason, and then giving you reason back so you can work on yourself as well. It's not just you pushing out. There's things that you might need to work on that I hope that they reiterate to you, so it make you a better worker for the next job that you go to. So that would be the second one, is professional quitting. And if all else fails, fuck them and burn the shit out that bridge. If you're gonna burn that bridge, you better burn that bridge with a whole bunch of gasoline and tell them to fuck off. I feel that way. If all else fails, I hate when people are like, I really wish I would have said this to him, but I didn't want to burn that bridge. Fuck that fucking bridge. You know how many bridges there are out there? There's not just one bridge from A to B. It's like New York, 21 bridges, baby. You can go any different way that you want to go. Don't worry about burning bridges, because them people ain't worried about you. They're saying all this crazy stuff, or they're doing all these crazy things, and they're not worried about burning a bridge that you could potentially be a part of. My favorite story, and this is why you should or should not burn a bridge. There was this kid that worked the front desk at this old job I worked at, and there was a manager, and the kid was the same age as his kids. He would talk to them crazy like they were his kids and disrespect them all the time. And these kids hated him. Long story short, the young boy quits, gets another job, becomes the manager at that job. The manager at the job they used to work at needed some extra money. He works at the place that the boy is now the manager at. He would make this guy, this guy was a manager at another company, would come over and just be a regular worker. This boy never forgot how much of a dick he was. Would make him scrub the toilets, would make him take out all the trash, give him the shittiest jobs because of how much of a dick he was when the kid was just some young worker or whatever. So that's what I'm trying to say right there, is you could burn a bridge premature, you could burn a bridge late, but just remember, it can get you either way. You could be the top dog, and if you burn a bridge and that boy that's down here, it flips, dog, he's gonna get you. Or vice versa, you can be down here and that top dog can just keep pounding you down all the way. It depends on where you're at and what you feel like is important to you. But if you're gonna burn a bridge, do it with some thought process. Like I said, life is rock, paper, scissors. Everything beats everything. So if you're gonna burn a bridge and somebody's got money, you think that somehow they're gonna use their money to get you, threaten them. But threaten them in a smart way so they can't fucking get you arrested. But just let them know, like, hey, money can only get you so far, but an ass whooping, that can last forever. And then if somebody's trying to threaten you and be rough, tough, tell them, I'll call the cops on you. And ain't nobody gonna be rough and tough on you no more unless they got a real backup plan. But there's rock, paper, scissors, everything. So don't care about burning a bridge. You're quitting for a reason, because you don't like working with them. The possibility of you working with them again is slim if you really want to quit and don't want to work with them again. So try not to burn bridges, because life is better and easier when you have a bridge. But if you gotta burn it, burn that motherfucker to the ground and say everything that you need to say so you feel good after. You can say, you see, I'm passionate about that one. But only do it when you know it's time. If somebody's talking to you crazy or somebody's doing crazy things to you, that's time to burn a bridge. But if it's over some fundamental differences, you don't have to do that. You can be professional about it. But when all else fails, burn that fucking bridge. When is a good time to stay at your job? So for me, I think a good time to stay is, one, if the money's right. That's the funny thing. People talk about moral compass and this, and that. But I've seen a lot of people also talk all that shit and they either get a really fat raise or they get a really good bonus or something like that, and they'll stay and they'll shut the fuck up and they'll just keep licking butthole and gargling ball sack because the money's right. Me, I don't know. I feel like the money is always right when I'm banking on myself. When I can earn it my own way, I feel like $1 earned throughout a whole day with no ball breath and no butthole taste in my mouth would always feel better than $1 million in a day if I had to leave with any of those tastes in my mouth. So really think about that. I would rather pay my own way and do my own thing. I don't really want somebody to wave dollars in my face and tell me that that's what is should be the reason why you stay. Because also remember this, I've never seen a company in my life ever pay even. And when I say that, I mean they give you $1, you give them $1 back. Nobody will give you money off of that. Look at the best jobs you've ever seen in your life that pay crazy money. Rarely do you meet any of them. They're like, yeah, we're pretty even. Like, I feel like I put in as much work as they pay me. It's always, for every dollar a company gives you, they want 2 to realistically 3 back. So if they're giving you $50 in that hour, they want 150 back when it comes to effort and when it comes to time and all that type of stuff. So just always remember that there's never enough money out there for somebody to make you stay if you really don't want to be at a place. So money's always one I hear and see people staying for the job because these companies also tie you by your ball sack. They want you to invest fully. All your money should be through their company. Because if it is through their company and they know you don't make any money anywhere else, they could play with you. They could fuck your hours up. They could ask you to stay longer. They could do all these different things because they know that they got you. Where your money is tied up with them and nobody else. So be careful with that. Don't allow a company to control all your income and control what you can and can't do. It's scary. I mean, entrepreneurship is scary, but in my honest opinion, hearing that scares the shit out of me more than like me trying to go outside and find my own money. I'd rather struggle and find it myself than have somebody hand it to me, but then expect me to do everything, and even things I can't even do, they want you to do. If the next one is you should stay if you haven't landed a better job yet. A lot of people tend to prematurely leave, but they forget that it's a game. You're playing the game just as much as the company's playing the game. Make sure you have something lined up before you decide to get the fuck out of there. Because if that's the case, then I'm going to see you off of 6th in San Francisco with a cup, and that's going to be your job for a little bit before you find a real job. You're going to be panhandling for some dough because a lot of people just jump, but they forget, man, it's chess, it's not checkers. So don't jump so fast. Make sure you have a couple jobs lined up. Make sure you have a couple ideas lined up to where it's a seamless transition. I'm going to leave this, but I'm going to jump right into this. So make sure you're stacking, like I said before, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. But that's another reason why you should probably stay, is if you haven't landed a better job yet. And when I say better job, it doesn't always have to be financial. It could be less money, better hours. It could be less money or the same money, but more freedom. You can work at home. You could you have unlimited PTO. You could work abroad or whatever. They just always make sure it's just not money of why you're making these decisions to leave. Make sure it's happiness over everything. Fuck money. I mean, people jump off of 80-story fucking buildings for money because the stock market crashed and money was God to them, and now they can't pay their house and their bills and all that stuff. Money will get you to jump off a bridge. Happiness will keep you even and enjoying yourself forever. So make sure it's happiness over the dollar. And hours and freedom, those always help. And then this one is true. The reason why you should stay is if you believe in the product or if you believe in what the company represents. Yeah, I mean, if you truly believe in what you're doing and you truly believe that it's the righteous path, or if you believe in like later down the line, this person that owns this place is going to take care of you and you'll get your just due, stay there. If the money is whatever right now, who cares? I mean, if you think that there's uh that like if you have a 85 to 90% chance that at the end of that rainbow there's a pot of gold, stay. I left because I knew there wasn't. As much as I like this guy, as much as I respect him, I know that by watching what he did with other companies, you will never get what you think you're gonna get by putting all that effort and time in. I've watched guys say that and do that and get fired at the end. I watched them not get the percentages that they were supposed to get, or not get the money they were supposed to get, or all that good stuff. So for me, it was an easy one when it came to that as well. I'm not gonna stick around somewhere and put all this time and effort in to watch somebody else get rich and watch somebody else make money, and then me look over and be like, well, what about me? And then be like, I don't remember this being your company. If you want a company, you should start one yourself. You will have wasted 5 years to hear that at the very end. And that should resonate hard to anybody else. If you're working for somebody and you don't feel like you're getting paid, or you don't feel like you believe in the product anymore, and they tell you at the very end, you should have started your own company. Yeah, you should have started your own fucking company. That's what I'm telling everybody right now. If you have an idea, or if you think that there's something that has some validity or some substance to it, start it. Because your company isn't just gonna push you into it. You gotta make that jump, or you gotta make that leap, or you gotta make those connections, and kind of get that moving. Because to hear that at the very end, or to see that happen to people at the very end when he sold his other company, was pretty comical. And it was funny to see their faces when it was like, you should have started your own company. It was so simple and easy, and they convinced themselves never to think that way or never believe it. They thought daddy was going to feed them. And at the end of the day, daddy said, oh no, it's time to feed yourself. And a lot of people didn't listen, but I did. So when I saw this kind of going the same way, I said, oh no, I remember you saying that. So my turn to get the fuck out, because I ain't going to be no stupid ass 5 years later looking at daddy to feed me. Oh man, I can feed myself. How long is too long at a company? Well, besides me just saying that right there, I think when you feel like you've outgrown it, when you feel like there's no more education you can get from it, or you feel like there's no more, the ceiling is already here and there's nowhere to go past it. And if it is, they give you 50 cents on your raises, they give you $1 on your raises, but it's nothing crazy. I think that that is a time where you should get the hell out. I think when you just feel not appreciated anymore, or you feel like there's a new toys that they've hired that really ain't shit compared to you, but they think they are. I mean, and fuck, I don't give a fuck. I speak on it all day, every day. In this company that I was working for, when it comes to education and when it comes to knowing what the hell was going on, it was NFL versus Pop Warner, where I respect and love everybody that worked there, but they were speaking honest. And the thing that's funny is people don't like to speak honestly. I'll speak honestly all day. If somebody's better than me at something, I have no problem saying, you're better than me at that. But I do have a problem if I'm better than you at something and you can't admit it. That just shows me your ego, and that just shows me that you're not the best person to work with. And in this scope, I was light years ahead of everybody. I did it already. I mean, I ran a whole program for 6 years while everybody else was just learning how to train 2 months in. And to sit there and have people try to explain to me that this is a group thing and we're all even and everything like that, it just let me know that it's la la land, and it's play money, and it's something that I can't be a part of, because I'm about serious. I'm about real money. So if I want to be a part of something, I want to make sure everybody's up to speed. I want to make sure everybody's training the same way. I want to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And for me, it was all about the soft new bullshit that people feed nowadays. We're all even. We're all the same. We should all have an opinion. Nah, man, educate yourself, then have an opinion. Because if that's the case, now I should just be at a kindergarten talking to 5-year-olds about what we should do for the next workout. If that's really what the thought process is. So when I started feeling that, that was a good time to not be at the company anymore. Like, if you feel like your education or your experience is higher than the people that are either right next to you, above you, or below you, and nobody wants to utilize what you have, get the fuck out of there. That means you're there too long. And that means that they're just too comfortable with you and they just don't appreciate what you give. So I would say that's the biggest one. If they're not appreciating what you're putting out and they think that it's so easy that they could do it, and then they find out it's not that easy, and get out of there. They're taking advantage of you. They're not appreciating you. And if a company don't appreciate you or people don't appreciate you, you gotta get out, because that's a mindset thing. When you're stuck in that mindset, it's hard to change people back, and it's hard to see them appreciate what you got. It's almost like sports. There's some guys that are on the bench right now. They're better than the starters, but sometimes the coach just doesn't like that guy, and you ain't gonna play, or you're not gonna get what you need because he thinks you're arrogant or cocky because he can't do it. So when it's funny how people that are weaker, that can't do certain things, hear how confident you are about talking about yourself, and they think it's arrogance or cockiness. But then, like I said, if it's arrogant or cocky, I wouldn't be able to show it, or that person wouldn't be able to show what's going on. But when you can show what's going on, you can tell it's confidence, and that scares people. And when that scares people and that starts affecting the workplace, get the fuck out of there. And I'm gonna leave with this: if anything I said is something that you feel and you have an idea, try it. This is the age and this is the opportunity to do it. Put it out there. Put it out there on social media. Put it out there on websites, or put it out there on just out in the open, selling, talking to people, networking, and try it. There should be no fear of trying this type of stuff. This is the best time to do it. These companies are doing the same thing. They're trying shit. They're lowballing you. They're taking advantage any way they can. Fuck them. Now, how about you just start for yourself? Or how about you get 5 people from that job that feel the same way, and y'all start something that really means something. Stand behind your morals and stand behind what you believe in, and battle against them. I think that it's time to start your own thing if you feel like any of this. And if it's crossed your mind, you should have did it yesterday. And if it's crossing your mind today, do it today. And don't have it cross your mind today and be like, oh, I'll do that next week. Every single day, spend 15 minutes working on something, and keep trying and keep doing, and keep going when it comes to all that. That's what I want to leave you guys with. I'm at the point of my life where I'm just sick and tired of working for somebody else, or I'm just sick and tired of having somebody else reap the benefits off of my skill. How about reap the benefits off your own skill? Or if you don't reap benefits, how about feel good? Like I said, it's not always about money. It's about how you feel. And for me, I feel great right now. And I hope that you going forward, especially listening to this one, I hope you do something so you feel great as well. Because at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. I don't invest in companies. I invest in people. And then that's the main reason why I'm even doing this, is I want to invest in you, and I want you to do well. And if you need help, hit me up. If you want entrepreneurial advice or you want some questions, man, hit me up. I'm down to talk about it. My best thing is to see people that have an idea, or people that have something, to put it together and have it go and make some money and help your family out. That's really what I want you to do. I want you, if we do talk, really put a plan together, really get it going, make some money, and help your family, and show your kids and show your nieces and nephews and show your family members and your friends how to do it, and pass it forward. Because there's too many selfish people out there that are doing it and taking advantage of us, that I think it's our turn. So please do that. And with that being said, episode's over. Thank you guys very much. If you need entrepreneurial coaching, if you need lifestyle, health, anything like that, that's the next avenue I'm getting into. So feel free to get a hold of me. I'm holding 15-minute free consultations. We can talk about anything, whatever you feel like. I really want to be able to be out there and help people at an affordable price compared to if they go to a psychologist or something like that where they're charging this crazy money. I want to be out there to help you guys and give you the right path and right direction. So that's one thing. And also, if you need any health boosts, I got them right here. Jake Shakes, I'm selling those right now. It's a holistic smoothie that you can take in the morning, or I have the protein one, or I have the nightcaps. It's just this holistic way of taking care of your body instead of going to the doctor with the medicine and the bullshit. It helps. I'm getting the webpage up. I'm getting the Yelp going so you guys can get more information about it. And besides that, I hope y'all have a great day. And if you hate your fucking job, get a plan, quit that shit, start your own shit. And I hope that you shout me out when you do it. I hope I can see it on social media or some shit. Have a great day. Thank y'all very much. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.